20 minutes ago when that main line came on through. So let's go big view. Emily, I'm going to have you take over for a second and pop us up there to Blakely. Let's talk about that cell up there in Early County.
All right, zooming in just a little bit closer of where we are looking in Blakely. So that's a storm that we've been tracking for a while now. It's been fast moving. I know David has mentioned that. It's been moving very quickly. Still keeping an eye on this rotation. It's like every other scan, you think that it has the potential to do something, and then the next scan it kind of looks a little bit less. So this is one of those days that you're kind of glued to the radar, because these things again could just pop off at any second. But as of right now, it doesn't look like it's showing any tightening, so that's always some good news. I'll go back a couple of scans. This is around 1:47, so a few minutes ago, but this is kind of where it was showing the potential to tighten, and I guess I can't draw on here, but where that light color is and then the green, we were kind of wondering if they were going to come together, and that indicates that rotation. But with the latest scan, it doesn't really look like it for right now. It's looking to like it is weakened, at least the rotation wise. It's broadened, doesn't really look as promising, but again, next scan could be a completely different story. So that's why you need to be on guard if you're in Blakely and places in Early County. So again, just you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but just be cautious of what's going on. And I guess you are if you're watching us. Maybe text a friend or a neighbor, just let them know, hey, keep an eye on the weather for right now. And again, I'll go back to our radar view, and these are packing a punch. Whenever this moved, that strong storm moved through Dothan, and it's this storm, the heavy winds and stuff, we could hear it. I could hear the wind gusts outside, and definitely a couple of rumbles of thunder. Doesn't look like the lightning's as bad in this storm right now, mainly off to the west. We can see a little bit more lightning. If I could maybe move it over a little bit for you guys. That is showing producing a little bit more lightning, but for us here in Blakely, not showing as much. But again, this is what we're keeping an eye on. It's just to the direct, I guess, west of the city of Blakely. So that's where we're keeping an eye on the possible chance of rotation right now. It's looking like it's weakened. So that's always a good news, like I was saying. But that's what we're keeping an eye on right now. There's a couple of things that we have been keeping an eye on, and these things are gonna come and go very quickly. So that's been kind of the name of the game. I think that Defuniak Springs tornado lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes on the ground, and I did get some reports that there were some trees down there, but that was pretty much it, and hopefully that is the rest of it. But this is looking at from Flowers Hospital, so honestly, sadly, this is looking better. It looked a lot worse just a little while ago, so hopefully once that heavy rain moves through Dothan, it looks like we have a little bit more of that heavier rain coming through like the main circle part, but we should be better conditions after that. David?
Yeah, really improving. Once that line comes on through Dothan, it will be pretty much over at that point, and we're seeing that now areas west. So if you live west of Dothan, really west of Midland City towards, say, Daleville, Fort Rucker, Enterprise, that severe threat is over. The threat is really with this line and points eastward as we track these showers and storms through the Wiregrass. That is some heavy, heavy rainfall from downtown Dothan southwestward towards, say, Taylor, Rehoboth. It is coming down cats and dogs in Rehoboth at this hour, and there's a lot of lightning strikes occurring also. Gusty winds in this batch also. We're not getting a real good wind speed estimate on Doppler radar because these storms are moving to the northeast and the radar beam's coming in from the north, so we don't get a great view of the wind speeds, but probably based on what we've seen today, in excess of 40 miles per hour, and that's strong enough to snap some weaker pine trees. If you have a tree that's kind of dead, they can take down some of those weak trees as well, and of course that can cause cause damage to anything that's underneath. So take this one seriously as it comes on through. Dothan southward along 231, the National Peanut Festival Fairgrounds, very wet. That is north of Madrid, but it's coming again towards areas east of Dothan, Ashford, and Cowards and Webb. Heads up to all of you because this cell will be in your neighborhood in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. Let's go back up to the Blakely area as we watch this cell come on through Early County. The same cell that's been rotating for a while really kind of began showing signs of rotation when it was right over Dothan. And although the structure isn't as impressive, there's still some rotation with this cell as it comes on through Early County. So in Blakely now, some heavy rainfall, a few lightning strikes, but the rotation area has not tightened to the point where it will produce a tornado. There's still indication here of inbound and outbound winds, but not strong enough to show any lowering of that funnel cloud that would produce a tornado. Still a chance, though, as it moves off to the north and to the east. That will be up towards, say, Highway 27 northeast of Blakely, and then out of our area of concern here, probably in the next 15 minutes as fast as this cell is moving. I'm not quite sure of the forward speed on this one, but tracking it on radar, I'm going to guess probably in excess of 50 miles per hour. Let's do that actually. Let's go back over to max 2 here. I'm going to run radar here for just a second. And what I like to do is kind of do a little look at how fast these cells are moving. So we'll put a little marker in right here. I'm going to take the radar back 1 hour. Boy, look at that. That same cell 1 hour ago was about right here, and then I'll grab my distance calculator, which is here, and let's just measure it. Yeah, so there it is, about 50 miles per hour, moving off to the northeast. That's making up some quick ground in no time. So I'm going to clear all that off, and then we'll just, ooh, there we go, and get back to what's happening now with the animation. So that cell, as we just confirmed there, 50 miles per hour moving off to the north and to the east coming on through Blakely. Still some rotation with that cell. About, though, given that forward speed to carry out of Early County in the next, say, 10 minutes as fast as it's moving. Areas south here, heavy rainfall coming on through Dothan, southward to Graceville. This area still has the potential for a brief spin up to occur. Again, we're at the point where we have severe thunderstorm warnings all over the place. That doesn't really do any good because we're not seeing 60-mile-per-hour winds everywhere. But if we have those winds being reached anywhere, it's perhaps with this cell here, not too far away from Blakely, and maybe some pretty gusty winds here on the south side of Dothan, southward into, about to move into Jackson County, certainly in Holmes County, some heavy rainfall. South of there, some heavy rainfall towards Red Bay. We can actually switch back over to the velocity, and I'm going to give you a little view here of what we're looking at with the radar site in Red Bay, because we have very good wind data coming in as this is actually not too far away from the radar site. So we'll just kind of do some analysis here.
David, I think we might need to check on Graceville area.
Okay, let's go just a little bit farther north.
Just a quick little check-in.
That little pocket that you're seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you make it where it goes to the other radar, I don't know.
Let's go to storm relative.
Just that pocket.
Yeah, there's a little definitely a little
Potential.
rotation there. Yeah.
Just want to point that out. Sorry.
Yes, I like that's a good move. Let's go back here. So these storms are moving from west to east, and so when the radar beam is kind of perpendicular to the wind speeds, we don't get a great view. When the radar beam is parallel to the direction the storm is moving, we get a pretty good view. And these winds here are not real bad, but let's go northward. I'm gonna have you run this too, Emily. Let's go here and let's check out that little notch.
Yeah, because that's the notch.
Yeah, good catch there, definitely good catch. So same thing we were watching earlier by Blakely. And let's go over to max 2 on max 1. I'm gonna have Emily run max 1. I'm gonna watch that on max 2.
Okay.
So there's max 1. Storm relative, this is using, I think, the Red Bay radar. So there's that little pocket. So outbound, let's see, is that which one? Get my bearings here. Sorry. Sometimes when we switch over.
Oh yeah, I was very zoomed in. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but which radar? So that's.
I think it's
Red Bay?
I don't think so.
Or is that Fort Rucker?
Fort Rucker.
Okay. So that makes sense. So
well,
okay, that's Red Bay.
Now
so we're on that cusp. The system automatically switches over to the closest radar based on where we are on the map. But so this is now Fort Rucker. So green here is inbound, red is outbound. This is storm relative. So there's definitely a pocket of rotation here by Graceville, off to the east of town on Highway 2, and then southeastward towards Highway 169. We have, you know, gate-to-gate shear here of probably 20 some miles per hour. Not real strong, but there's broader rotation up in the atmosphere. So this is one of those storms that, again, may briefly spin up into a tornado. If that occurs, it's going to be somewhere near or just north of Highway 2, the northern part of Walton, Holmes County, northern part of Holmes County here, south of Browntown, very close to Browntown, really, just north here, likely of Highway 2. Again, these are winds that are kind of surging out. Air is coming up here, and there's some rotation noted right in this area, not too far to the east, northeast of Graceville, not too far south.
They just issued
so there's
tornado.
a tornado warning on that cell. So good call, Emily.
Yay!
Yeah, watching that one.
Sorry, you shouldn't say yay.
This is a look right here at this area of rotation. Not real strong winds, not real tight coupling of those winds.